chambean pero no jalan. Tú compras todas las Jordan, a mí me las regalan. I spend in the club, what you have in the bank. This is the new religion bank, el Latino gang. Yeah, trato de hacer dieta, pero es que en el closet tengo mucha grasa. Ya mudé la Gucci pa' dentro de casa, yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is Zach with Strictly Shisha. I hope everyone is doing well. For all you newcomers to the channel, thank you guys for stopping by. And for all the old viewers, it's nice to see you guys again. Today, we are going to be talking about hoses, specifically the B2 washable silicone hose. Back in the day when I started smoking, there's only a few options for hoses. Washable, not washable. Then you got to choose between Egyptian handled and silicone. Nowadays, there's so many different hoses on the market. Hopefully the information I provide in this video today helps you guys decide what hose is best for you. So this B2 hose is a very simple, no frills hose, but it's made from very high quality materials and I really enjoy using it. It's specifically designed to work with the B2 hookah, but you can pair this with any hookah of your choosing. The biggest selling point on this hose is the soft touch silicone tubing. And this greatly differs from the tubing that you commonly find with hoses like the Droid hose or the D hose. This tubing is not malleable, it's very rigid, and it does get caught on a lot of things because there's so much friction on this hose. I used to love these hoses, but now that I switched over to soft touch silicone, I think this is the way to go. This soft touch silicone is so silky smooth. It doesn't get caught on my clothes. It doesn't get caught on the couch. Smooth to the touch on your arm. It just feels so good. There's no friction at all with this. When I rest this hose in my lap to relax, it just slides right off. It's that silky smooth. With this silicone tubing, it was so tough. I mean, it would just get caught on things. When I'd pass it to friends, I'd be worried about knocking over the hookah. With this one, it's so easy to pass to people. The length on it is nice and long. It's about the same length as the D hose. It's the same length as the new Timber hose. It's a little bit shorter than the Aviator hose, but still plenty of distance to pass it. The handle on the B2 hose is a simple German style tubing here, aluminum. This one happens to be gold, but they do come in a variety of colors to match your hookah. I think the gold works really well with this. It's a lightweight tubing. It is easily removable, but it doesn't fall out when you don't want it to. So you can take it out, you can clean it, and you're not having to like really force it out of there. So I really like that aspect of it. And it does fit with your common tips. I am using a B2 condom tip today, and obviously it's designed to fit and works really well. This handle is lightweight. I know a lot of you don't like really heavy metal handles because I guess it just takes a lot of effort to hold it up. It doesn't really bother me. I don't even notice this thing. Almost can just rest it in my lap and it's a nice length to smoke out of. Moving on down the tubing, it does include a spring here, which helps resist kinking. Because it is a soft touch silicone hose, it does flex a little bit more. But with this included spring, you do not have to worry about your hose port kinking. And at the end of the hose port, you do have a quick disconnect connector. So if you are using a hookah like a B2 or any German style hookah, you will not need a grommet. I love that. After a day smoking, I just unplug it and I hang it up and I'm good to go. And I don't have to worry about finding a grommet. But if you are pairing this with a different hookah, put a hose grommet on here, shove it in your Regal or whatever hookah you prefer, and it works really well. It's not oversized and it's the same material as the handle here. Now to compare this B2 hose to a lot of other hoses on the market, I used to recommend getting the Aviator hose. This is also a soft touch silicone tubing hose, and I really like this hose until I got my B2 hose. The tubing on this is even more malleable, it's even more flexible, but to the point where it kinks unnecessarily. So I used to recommend this hose, but now that I have the B2 hose, I love the more open gauge on the B2 hose. I found the Aviator hose to be a little restricted for my liking, which is one reason why I didn't use it that often. It didn't work with all the hookahs that I paired it with. But with the B2 hose, it's nice and wide open. There's very little restriction, and I like the quality of the tubing a lot better. And this hose only retails for $39. And compared to the Aviator hose, which is $49. So for saving 10 bucks, it's a wider gauge and I like the quality of the tubing a lot better. I would no longer recommend getting the Aviator hose. I think the B2 hose is the way to go. Now to compare this to a more higher price point hose, the Timber hose. The Timber hose is revered as one of the nicest hoses on the market. It does carry a higher price point at $65, but the tubings on both of the hoses, I have the Timber hose right here, they're almost identical in the tubing. I would not be able to differentiate the tubing on this. Both of them very, very high quality. Both have a nice wide open draw. The differentiating factor is gonna be the handle itself. If you compare it to the timber handle, which is here, I have the carbon fiber with the wood, you can see the difference with the handles. This is a simple aluminum piece, and there's a lot more workmanship that went to making this. Also much higher quality material. You guys know carbon fiber is not cheap, making wood tips not cheap with a brass insert. That's what makes this hose a lot more expensive, but the functionality of these hoses is gonna be pretty much identical. It's just gonna be the aesthetics different, and that's what causes a different price. So it's kind of up to you guys what you guys prefer. Do you like the simple design of this B2 hose, or do you want something a little more gorgeous that costs a little bit more? That's up to you guys. That is not something I can decide, but functionality wise, these are gonna be the exact same. If you're still deciding between this and a D hose, I would definitely go with the B2 hose. I think the soft touch silicone over this old style silicone, this is worth the upgrade in price. Spend the 15 extra bucks and get a much more pleasurable hose to smoke out of. As I mentioned, the draw on the B2 hose, it's a nice wide open, but not overly open, very pleasurable draw. Adds no restriction to this wide open B2 hookah. Pairs with my CNC really well, pairs with my Regals, pairs with my Dashini Sniper. I like the combination of this B2 hose with all the hookahs that I pair it with. To show you guys an overlay right now, comparing it to the D hose, comparing it to the Aviator hose, comparing it to the Timber hose, you can see it's on the larger spectrum of the diameter. It's pretty much equivalent to the D hose and the Timber hose, and larger than the Aviator. And considering I thought the Aviator was restricted, the diameter on this B2 hose is perfect. I've been putting this thing through the paces for the past couple months now, and I love this hose. Everyone who's tried it with me thinks it's comfortable in the mouth, it's nice and lightweight. Quality-wise, I have no qualms. It works really, really well. I love the quick disconnect. I'm just overall pretty happy with this hose, and I think if you guys take the time to try it out, I think you guys will really enjoy it as well. I am obviously smoking out of my beautiful B2 hookah. Can't smoke a B2 hose without a B2 hookah. So I'm smoking my B2 hookah today. I have the Mason Helix bowl on top. I am testing this thing out. Got a few sessions through it so far. Today is a very enjoyable session, and I'm testing out 3 of Haze's new cube coals. Haze is coming back to the market, revamping a lot of their new products as they moved overseas. So still great quality coals here, so I have no issues with them. Reminds me of the old days with Haze coals, so I really like this. Update on the B2 hookahs. If you guys remember my review of the B2 hookah, I had some issues with the threading and things like that, but I've confirmed with Vahe the new batches are perfect. The threading is flawless, and he's made a lot of the necessary improvements to the new batch. So I think they will be released in the next month or so. So if you guys are on the fence about a B2 hookah, I highly recommend it. I love mine. I've used it every single day. I have no issues. The only thing I've noticed so far, the anodization on the downstem is fading a little bit, as I leave mine in water for days on end just to test them out for you guys and keep you guys updated on my quality control over these pipes. But granted, my sample size was 1, but I've seen pictures of a lot of the new batches. The threading looks perfect, the quality looks up to your standards. So if you're in the market for a new hookah, the B2 hookah is still a great recommendation for me. Also, new hose, I really like this B2 hose. I think cost for what you get, it's a good value. It's not overpriced, it's simple, but yet it works really well. So if you guys are in the market for a new hose, definitely check out this B2 hose. It's really, really nice, and it smokes very, very well. Thank you guys always for watching. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, feel free to thumbs up, subscribe, join the team. Always new videos for you guys, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the day. You guys take care. Bye guys.